Words step like infantrymen
along dusty roads.
Sometimes the sentence is the news, sometimes
They
it's
call
the
that
air.
stealing. Infinite combinations of
In tune
letters.
to the bugles.
Dispersing expression.
Hear the melody and the
The
dissonance.
slurs of lost philosophy.
It's
Essential to our memories and will leave me not.
Lone riders whose pale best friends can be thrown in trash bins at the sign of disapproval. Mouths sewn up with the thread of sound.
And we must allow for that we know to arise out of us like scent does out of musk, and to ensure sense of trust.
But is it enough? Our pens are not plus to your conscience, but through them you know our progress. Critics fool, too weak to surpass this.
The pen is now the tool to speak to the masses and replaces the hammer and sickle.
We write down because we
Instead of the
must.
fist, there is the quill and ink. We place red with lines on paper.
And without it, we wouldn't
And then dare
exist.
say that we are not part of the revolution. We complete the word painting.
Paper drips like dolly drops, ink blots tick the missing top. Vowels
Tick,
sprinkle on
tock,
continents, vegetation.
tick,
Commas
tock,
rake fields of future
tick,
corporations.
tock,
As written vines wrap the
tick,
paper, the mental
tock.
sanction.
Instrumental tanks and think, ink, defeating our tunes.
We can't help but keep beating our drums and flipping our tongues to the rhythms, wrestling with words. Agitating adverbs.
Manipulating minds.
One. Writing should not make us feel safe. Writing should not make us numb. When we open a book, we should not feel safe.
If it causes strife, it's even better because each letter should be true every single time you say anything.
We should be afraid, anxious, and scared shitless. The purpose of writing should be to make us feel.
It should not solely make us happy.
The vast abundance of pain in this world leads us to hastily conclude that our lack of feeling is happiness.
Insanely, we conjure feelings and emotions that most choose to deny. They surround us thick. We force ourselves to drown in our own shit.
It
And we
causes
gain
pain
and
and die. To
die.
explain, there's a reason for a offending convention.
Writing should pick us up out of that easy chair we curl up in to read a book and throw us out onto the street, leaving us scared,
Alone.
scarred,
Scared.
and alone.
Scarred.
And like some sick masochistic bastard, leave us yearning for more.
More than some fried omelet being salted by the seas and spiced by green leaves. Won't be slurped, chewed, or swallowed. The yolk that beat the fork, reclaim the shell is soon to follow.
It's the same attempt to execute a cute thought, taught or invented, demented or normal, or a sample of pollution. In everyone there's ample informal revolution.
So stand the fuck up and let me hear it! Two.
Two.
Words should not classify, language should destroy.
As page turns page, words smush with drinking ink wine. The linked and intertwined, time the slave of our
The
design.
graves of mine rhyme steady, but flows don't mean our words don't hang heavy. Marking mine with mental asterisks, bring creation from disasteries.
Painting verbal tapestries to provoke a mental masterpiece. Marking its animalistic territory within the brain. Elliptical alphabetical lines engaging in the gravitational pull of listeners' minds.
Pens smack and shackles clack, clock sound as whip inks back, the paper fiber crush.
And without it, we'd be less stable than a pile of dust under feet run amok in a rush.
Scribble, scrabble, scribble, scrabble.
Three.
Three.
Our writing should be molded, sculpted, and reinvented by our ideas and thoughts. Our writing should reflect our true beliefs and existence.
Existing in an elaborate scene of magical realism, tearing at the
But
seams.
we aren't aware of no teams, because we're all sharing the dreams. My right light shines bright, even when it just narrowly beams. But it scarily seems that my spectrum being pointed in the direction of their selection. Be our own, we aren't shown.
We are thrown into a world with a pre-existing structure,
Humanity, insanity, frailty.
which attempts to categorize and define us.
But define it unless there's less than people walking and talking and pretending they exist. And we just want some sort of ending.
Most of all, our words should rebel against structure, status, and silence.
This imitation of creation isn't what we need. It's everyone who thought about it and knows what they believe.
See, for you, it's just another day of children's play. But we see youth fabricating stories of superheroes that still exist in their childhood bliss. They stay talking and jazzing, thinking and dance, because free minds don't resist the creative kiss.
All we need is some kind of speech. Preach it, teach it, just speak real. Separate out real life.
We attempt to tap into the crazy shit that just doesn't make sense, exploiting the taboo, 6 cents.
Four. Our words are weighted, powerful, and valuable. Words are also cheap, flimsy, and meaningless. Our words should be deliberate, decided, and anything but delicate. We should not allow the words of our own language to be sold for base, selfish, or otherwise loathsome purposes. We should not prostitute our words, our language, or our ideas off like some $2 whore.
Tell me about life after death, because we're all prophets. So why can't one pale, faint whisper change the outcome of history?
Outcome of history.
History of
Out of
outcomes.
history
The
comes.
first person I know of to move roamed in the neuter with a cloak for the coat, and someone spoke. It was told that in the days of the old, necessities essential to the extension of breath were connected in steps.
And I accepted instead that unless I am dead, I can speak from my head without acceptance from them. Hold it.
And molded together as the visible became more
Let
complex.
complex becomes simple. I write because we're all right.
I write because we're all right.
Five.
We shall not follow manifestos, declarations, or constitutions.
We note so much similarity between reality and hypocrisy that it all becomes more malleable as we make this truth fallible.
Then up sprouts a kind of rhythmic dreaming. We offer thumping gifts addressed to me.
We'd ensure it, or even the will to question this much via this pressing necessity that won't let us out of its
It's
touch.
dark and life is hot, cause we are rough riders.
Mediums for thought and paper with the lifeblood of soldiers. We bear the name poets.